King 4 suited, decent spot for a steal. Don't think these guys are going to be playing back at you too much. Tollgate has to worry about Dal, and Dal is kind of short and has to worry about not having a lot of fold equity. Even though he does have fold equity, because we're going to be folding to his shove quite a bit, because if we reverse stacks, we're now the short stack. And AK Port, I think, is just going to avoid the spot. Especially given that he just called with 5s in the big blind when he could have shoved and put a lot of pressure on us. I think he probably wouldn't be shoving on us too light. So I think that's a good spot for a steal. So Tollgate seems to be raising quite a bit. A lot of chips going in. Huh. Interesting. Looks like Tollgate racing the small blind wide, 2-barreled, ran into a flush draw that hit a pair in the end. Sucks for him. Pretty good spot to steal. Tollgate probably going to play tight here. AK Port seems like he's a little bit. Seems like he's on the tight side. Didn't shove the flush draw. Didn't shove the 5s. Kind of just playing his hands face up. So I think it's a good spot to steal. I wouldn't expect Dal to be calling or playing many hands here. He only has 2x pot left, so I think I would just bet get it in. I don't want to give a free card to something like Jack 10, 10-9, Jack 9. If he had something like 5 million left, I think it'd be a very easy check with your bottom pair and a backdoor flush draw. You don't feel comfortable bet getting it in there. You don't feel great about bet folding with that many backdoors and that strong of a hand. Your hand's kind of right in between where it wants to be. So I think it's a perfect check behind spot. But given that he only has 2x pot left, I think you should just bet, commit yourself, and call off. You have to check behind. Turns an 8. I think you still need to protect your hand. If he has something like ace-5, he just turns some more outs. So I think I would bet small. Really like this bet size. Can't really do much against us with anything. I think he would bet most of his range on the turn. I think you can bet a little bit larger because it is possible for him to make it like 750,000, and then you're in an awkward spot. Whereas if you make it like 375, you can't really check raise anymore as a bluff. You don't really want to get bluffed there. Interesting spot here. Generally here, you can actually do a fair number of things because of the stacks. Zading won't want to play a big pot against you, but you don't want to play a big pot against him either. We don't know his level of ICM thinking. He seems like he's a solid player, so I assume he knows something, but you don't know how much. So I don't think I would shove here, whereas it would be profitable against some really good players who know and would be folding stuff like 10s. I don't think Zading will do that here. Actually, I don't think they'll ever fold 10s, but they may fold stuff like 8s and 9s and ace-jack, which means they're only calling with like 5% of hands, which makes it pretty profitable to shove. But I don't know if Zading knows that much, so I would lean towards just calling here rather than making a small 3-bet or a shove. If I had something like King 6 offsuit, I would probably lean towards a small 3-bet or a shove because your hand doesn't play as well. But 4-5 offsuit is connected, and I think I would just take the pot in position. Chalker opted to shove, which I think is definitely on the big side, but as I said before, can definitely be defensible if Zading knows what he's doing. He can't call here with the vast majority of hands, but just know that you are the shorter stack here, so you're the one at risk. So I wouldn't shove that much with 4-5 offsuit, even though it might be profitable. I would much rather just call in position and play some small ball here. 5-4 offsuit. Again, this is one of those spots where I think you can shove any 2, given how short Dal is. So I would shove. And Tollgate is pretty much forced to play tight there. He has a lot more chips than Dal.